All right, friends, let's make our infinity net for our pumpkin to sit on. So you have chosen a background paper that is a completely different color than your pumpkin, and you need a Sharpie for this. And if at any time your Sharpie starts looking gray, like it's running out of ink, please, please, please switch to a better one. We want our lines to look black, not gray. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see the top of my paper. By the way, your paper needs to be tall. Look at your paper. Is your paper tall? Look at your neighbor's paper. Is your neighbor's paper tall? Y'all check on each other and make sure you're all doing this the right way. Okay, so your paper is tall. That's called portrait style. And I'm going to zoom into the top of my paper because I need to show you a couple things. First off, find the center of the top of your paper. Okay, so find the center of the top of your paper. You can put your finger there. So when you look, you should have an equal amount of space on this side as you do on that side. So find the center with your finger. Put your finger there. All right. Put a dot. Okay, so now we have a space over here and a space over here. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to move to the right side. Find the center of this space right here. So between the dot and the corner of the paper, find the center and put your finger. Put another dot there. Okay, now we're going to find the center of this space. So put your finger and make a dot. Okay, so we found the very center, and it kind of divided our paper into halves. So then we found the center of the right half and put a dot, and we found the center of the left half and we put a dot. So you should have 3 total dots. Okay, now what I need for you to do is, do you see how we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces left? Okay, so in the center of each of those spaces, I need for you to put a dot. So find the center of this space and put a dot. And find the center of this space and put a dot. And find the center of this space and put a dot. And find the center of this space and put a dot. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots when you're finished. All right, I'm going to zoom back out so you can see my whole paper. Okay. You have 7 dots at the top. There we go. Okay, my camera got a little crooked. Okay, so now what you're going to do, and our paper's still tall, is from each dot you're going to draw a line all the way to the bottom of the paper. Your line does not have to be 100% straight, but we don't want the lines to touch. Do not let your lines touch each other, okay? So I'm going to start in the center dot, and I'm going to go down to the bottom of my paper. I'm going to do the same thing to all the other dots, remembering that they don't have to be 100% straight, but they do not need to touch each other. Okay, also don't get crazy. They need to be sort of straight. We're not doing curly or zigzag or wavy or anything like that. But what I mean is we're not using a ruler, and so if they get just a little wonky, that's okay. But remember, they are not touching each other. Remember, your lines should look black, not gray. Okay, I'm going to give you a moment to finish. All right, now turn your paper wide. Turn your paper wide. Okay, in this, all the spaces we're going to do a zigzag, but I want you to watch me so that you understand what we're doing. Okay, when you start this line, we're always going to touch either this first line or the edge of the paper for this one zigzag line. So when you do it, remember zigzag is like, it almost looks like triangles, okay? So if you want to watch me first so you understand what I'm doing. So you start at the line, I'm going to start over at the edge of the paper, and you're going to go up to the top edge, back down to the line. Up to the top edge, back down to the line. Up to the top edge, back down to the line. Do you see I'm not stopping halfway up? I'm going all the way to the top edge, back down to the line. That's very important that you do the zigzag as tall as the space, okay? So you keep going, top edge, down to the line, 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 top edge, and then I ran out of space, but I'm going to stop there, okay? So if that happens to you, that's okay. You just finish it by going top edge down to the line, okay, until you get all the way to the other side. Okay, now don't do the second row because we have to do something special. Okay, on the second row, we have to make this look like a diamond. So what we're going to do is, do you see how this is a triangle right here? And do you see the two ends? Okay, so we're going to connect to the ends. So on this one, my end is right here, so I'm going to make V shapes. I'm going to make a V, and here's the other end, and make a V. And here's my next triangle, and here are the ends. Make a V, and make a V. And do you notice my V's touch that next line? Okay, so you're going to make V's so that you have turned this into a diamond. You're going to do that all the way across. Okay, so a V that touches that line, and it touches the end, so we have made a diamond. Okay, so you can see I have a row of diamonds, and they all connected at the end points of this triangle. Okay, so they look like a row of diamonds. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make diamonds again. But watch this. Do you see all of our end points of our diamonds down here? All of these pointy bottoms, the bottom of the V shape that we did. From that V shape, you want to make new triangles. We're making new triangles. From the bottom of that V shape, we're going out. And these are diagonal lines, by the way, remember. Diagonal leans over. We're making V shapes. Or, excuse me, we're not making V. Well, we kind of are making V shapes, actually. But do you see how they're all connecting to the points? Okay. So everything is touching all the points. So we're making triangles connected to our V's. Like we're making another zigzag line, but they're connected. All right, we need to make V's again connected to our side edges. So connecting to the end points, we're making V's. do another row. Again, they're all connecting to each other. Okay, so you keep going until you fill in your rows. Make sure that everything is touching. It's touching the lines. It's touching the row above it. And you just keep going until we fill in each row. And you're making triangles and you're turning them into diamonds everywhere we go. In a second, you are going to put glue on your pumpkin, and we will glue it to this paper. And we'll turn the paper back vertical again, portrait style. And we'll glue it on. Okay. Zoom out just a little. Okay, so you can see my paper. Looks like a knit, kind of like an infinity knit, like Yayoi Kusama would have done. And then we will glue this in place.